guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial using one of the new Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection eyeshadows. I hope you guys are really excited, and let's get started. So first off, I'm going in with a concealer. I'm using my MAC Prolongwear Concealer on a shadow brush from Thrive Cosmetics. I noticed this trick from P. Louise. It's a makeup academy in England. She has a base I really want to try, but for now I'm just trying this technique of patting down wet concealer and then putting shadows directly on top. This is the palette I'm using today. I'm using the shade Hush Hush, Sparks, Rockstar, Ballsy, and Bling Bling. I'm first taking that shade Hush Hush in the outer corner of my eye, really concentrating the majority of the pigment on the outer corner before I start blending it outwards. You only want to start blending it upwards and outwards once there's less product on the brush. But when you're first placing it down, you want to make sure you're really concentrating one area. Next, I'm going in with the shade Sparks. It's a beautiful red maroon color from the palette. And I'm really packing that on the outer corner of my eye. Notice how I'm just really pressing this into the eye as opposed to sweeping it around. I'll only tend to sweep colors once there's less pigment on my brush. That way it blends a lot easier. You'll notice once I start to blend upwards and outwards, it does look a little sloppy, but we're going to go back in later on with that fluffy brush just to help blend out some of those edges. So it's okay if it gets a little bit messy at this step. Notice too that I'm not applying a ton of pressure to my brush. I'm not pushing it down, but I'm just very lightly sweeping this across the lid. It's kind of hard to pick that up in makeup tutorials sometimes, how hard someone's using the brush, but I'm just using this ever so lightly. Next, you'll see me going back in with that same Sparks shade again, and I'll kind of repeat these steps as many times as I see necessary, both applying the pigment and blending it out. I noticed that these shades blended out really well, but that kind of caused a problem because I had to keep going back on and adding more of them. Now I'm adding Rockstar, which is that purple shade, on a Makeup Geek Dome brush, and really concentrating that in the outer corner. I noticed when I applied this shade, I lost a little bit of the red pigment, so I'm going back on with that Sparks shade with that same brush. So again, I will repeat those steps until I feel like the pigment is where I want it. Afterwards, I'm going to cut my crease. I'm going back in with that same concealer. And I tend to look up when it's still wet, so that way it kind of cuts my crease for me, and I know that I'm not going too high or too low. This is really great if you have slightly hooded eyes like I do. It'll make your eyeshadow not transfer to the top of your lid. And again, it's okay if this part's a little bit sloppy because you're going to go back in and blend it. I like to blend in the middle part of my eye with my finger because it'll help make it easier when you're packing on shadows to make it look more of an ombre look. I'm taking the shade Ballsy both on that same brush and with my finger just to make it really pop. And I'll also be going in with Glitz and Glam in the inner corner of my eye. You'll notice now I'm kind of starting to smooth out that crease with my shadow. And applying a little bit of Ballsy to where I have those darker shadow shades. And then blending over that to soften it up. I'll even add a little bit more of that Sparks pigment just to kind of make it look like it's an ombre effect between the glitters to the matte shadows. Again, if you mess up and overdo it, you can always go back on with more matte shadows or more shimmer. After that, and after I apply my foundation, I'm going to go underneath my eye with that same Hush Hush shade. And also the Spark shade in the outer corner as well. So this is just tightlining my waterline, making it look blended and even with the top. For mascara today, I'm using one of my favorite mascaras, the Bad Gal Bang Mascara from Benefit Cosmetics. I feel like my lashes just look so on. And guys, can we just talk about my lashes for a second? Like, they're looking pretty good. They're not as long as they could be, but they're looking pretty dang good. Some days lashes are just a struggle for me like anyone else, and they weren't taking the curvature my eye made because they're newer lashes, but these are the iconic lashes from House of Lashes, and they are some of my faves. And this is the finished eye look. So thank you guys so much for watching this quick and easy makeup tutorial, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!